the usual buzz blockers are working hard on the first bit of our quiz. So we'll see how we get on there. Just now in the studio, the end of Kate Bush running up that hill, it's Joan Wallington, no stranger to Moorlands Drive time, from Boogie Babies and Little Hands Music, where I've already had the pleasure of going along and joining in with lots of friendly mums, lots of really excited youngsters, a lovely, lovely place to be, and a great group to be part of, well, two groups to be part of. Joan, thank you for coming back and welcome along again this afternoon.
Thanks, thank you for having me. It's great to be here. It's lovely seeing you again.
It's lovely to see you. I bet you've been busy, haven't you?
Really busy. Seems to be like a baby boom in Uttoxeter. My baby classes have just gone really, really busy. Same with toddler classes. Yeah, I don't know why, but it really is busy at the moment, which is great. Lots of new faces, and there's lots of grandparents as well. So it's not just mums and
so grandparents come along.
And there's one dad. I've oh, sorry, my phone.
You said you were busy.
So yes, I've got one dad in he's been coming for the last three years or more. And then I have one dad that comes to Mayfield, so it would be nice to try and get a few more dads, but you know, they have to work, I know, usually, so...
So he doesn't feel, he feels like part of the group.
Oh, he is, oh yes, most definitely.
That's good to know that dads are allowed. So a question that you've been asked recently, and one that I would love to find out more about from your knowledge, because you are all about encouraging child development through communication, through music, through all different forms of communication.
Yeah.
How on earth do you juggle everything? Looking after a young child, we hear all the time about the terrible twos.
Okay, yeah.
Children that could perhaps be a handful at home, but then you're helping with their development, you want to do it right, but you also need to do all the other jobs.
Exactly, yeah, I can see where you're coming from there. First and foremost, my personal belief is that parents are the best teachers for their children. What they do and what you do and even what you say will have a big effect on a child, because they're going to copy what you do. And what I do in my toddler class, every 6-week block, it's based on a theme. And at the moment we're doing all about home, the home and homework. Now, without trying to encourage child slave labour, it is amazing how from a young age that they can be taught how to help around the home. But how do you do that? Because as you say, if you're really busy, what do you do? Well, basically, what I think, there's a couple of key things here. One, you have to keep it fun, because they don't want to do stuff if they're hungry, if they're tired, if they're not well.
Like I don't.
You know. And the other thing is singing. Music is just so important. It can really help with their development. So what we've been doing in the home theme in the classes is just basically going through the routine of what happens. So you wake up in the morning and we've been singing the Mulberry Bush. It's a song which you might have known as a child.
Round.
Exactly,
Yes.
You see, you do know.
Remember.
So here we go round the Mulberry Bush. This is the way we wash our hands or we wash our face. So it's just using it in a general everyday situation. So you're not actually sitting your child down and saying, okay, now this is what we've got to do. So if a parent can describe what they're doing and say, this is the way we polish the floor, and give their little one a cloth and get them to join in and do the dusting and make it as a game, making sure they're not tired, and also giving them praise when they do it. That can go a long way. And once it's fun, put on the music and then come on, let's go and let's clean the bath or clean the bathroom, and explain to them what you're doing. They learn, that's how they learn. They'll want to join in because they want to be with you, and give them a bit of praise, and they think, yeah, this is great.
It does make a lot of sense, because there are products that you can use about the house now that aren't necessarily that strong or irritant, aren't they? You know, dusters, you don't necessarily need chemicals with them.
Of course you don't. You could even just get a wipe, or you can even get a cloth and just wet the cloth and get them to wet it, and then you go along behind them and dry it up, you know. Yeah. But even you can even get them making their beds, pulling up the duvets and just keeping the place tidy.
And that's the thing, isn't it? Keeping the fun element, because we ourselves, after years of looking after ourselves and looking after the house, we forget it is important to sort of keep things light-hearted, because if it's the chores and too easy, that could translate over to the children and they don't want to know about it.
No, that is the one thing I always say to parents. If they're going to come to my class, you have to be enthusiastic.
You have to have fun.
You have to have fun. Let your hair down and have fun, because I get scared if I have somebody sitting there almost like an Ofsted inspector or whatever sitting there. It's no fun, so life's too short.
And indeed.
You know.
So what do your mums at Little Hands Music tell you that they've learned?
Oh, go on my website and you can see some of the things. They, social skills. They learn about how to communicate and how to share and how to, this is the children that is, obviously the mums know. They have sort of said to me, what can I help them with regards to trying to help organise, say, a child's bedroom. And I say, well, what they could do is, say, laminate pictures of the children's toys, for example. So they might have pens or crayons. Laminate the pictures and put them on a basket. So children then learn, little toddlers learn, oh, that's where my crayons go, or this is where the dolls go.
See,
Rather than writing, there's no point in putting the word doll on it.
It's like a game then, isn't it?
It's a game.
Matching the toys with where they belong.
Yeah, and then let's have a race, see if Mummy can put all the dolls in a basket before, little John can put his tractors away or something.
And let them
like
win
that.
from time to time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then the other thing I would encourage is the use of stickers. Because I know we were talking before about homework, what about children doing homework, but when they're that young, they don't do it until they get into the seriousness of school, in a sense. But there's no harm in having reward stickers, because we all like to be rewarded. And if they have got older ones in school and think, gosh, I can't get them to sit and do their maths or whatever, if you got an Argos catalogue and cut out a picture of a toy, we'll say, that they want, or a bar of chocolate, or I don't know, something that they want, and then they get their little stickers every day, and then the end of the week, or after 3 days, they can visually see what it is they're actually getting. No point in saying, oh, we'll give you, dare I promote a bar of chocolate, but whatever it might be, it could be just something small, but little treats along the way.
I suppose those visual aids. Got to be very important.
Yeah, and the other thing I would also say is to parents is just be really careful what you say in front of your child, because they may just be sitting there playing with their tractor, but they are listening to what you're saying. And if you are saying, oh goodness me, he's not doing this, or his room's a mess, or she's doing this, and it's negative, then what happens is they think, well, if Mum says that, then it must be true. So the other little tip I'd probably say is just, when you see them playing the tractor and grandma's around, say, oh, you should see, he's been so good, he's helped me do the dishes, or polish, look what he's done, polish the table. And they'll hear this positive, and positive praise, it's even for adults. If we all get something positive, then we can only, do better.
That's it, and it rubs off, doesn't it, so easily?
Yeah.
And, we're all guilty of it, we've all done it. Once I think you sort of learn to think more about what you are saying and choose your words a bit more carefully, rather than just, go with the old habit that you may have learned. You may have picked up from your mum or a grandma or something.
Exactly.
It's time to just reassess how the communication in the house is working, and then just make a few simple changes.
And I think that's life in general. My background originally was customer services and had not comments, but you'd be dealing with all the moaning and everything. But how many times does someone pick the phone up and say, thanks a lot, that was really good? How many times do we praise, even as adults?
And don't those times stick out though? They
stick out. If you go for a meal and it's bad, you'll quickly say, oh, that was a terrible meal. How many times will you pick the phone up and say, or call that chef out and tell him that meal was really good? So maybe that's what we all need to do, is maybe praise a bit more rather than think of the negative.
Some good tips, Jo. Very important. Just before we do get to the news next, after a bit of George Ezra, you mentioned your website, but you're also on Facebook, aren't you?
I am, yes, thank you. My website is Little Hands Music, www.littlehandsmusic.co.uk. If anyone wants to come to the class, I can give you my mobile if you like.
Yeah, go for it.
It's 07751 255 409. And yes, I am on Facebook as well, Little Hands Music. UK.
It's always a good one.
Yeah.
And we may just be able to tweet a little bit of footage of us in the studio this time, because Faith, our media production student extraordinaire, is actually helping out with a bit of filming, so it's a mixed visual
I know.
and audio production this time.
We're going up, eh?
Very good to have you.